Hello, this is J.N.S, and I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Okay. And we thank God that it's Friday. I hope you guys have something good planned for the weekend and that we are enjoying ourselves. And so we're going to start with our weekly tarot reading. Um, we're going to do March predictions in general since it's March 1st. So we'll just do this theme for the week would be March predictions for the entire month. And what we're going to do is compartmentalize the reading into several components. First would be individualized. And so it would be more so something that could pertain to you for this week or this month, rather. And then we'll do events if I see any events. And then we also do how do they feel. And so it's compartmentalized. I will let you know when we switch. What I'm going to do, though, is look to see if it's better or if rather if I see events first or the individual stuff comes first. And so the compartmentalization of the reading itself um, may not be in the order that I just aforementioned. But nonetheless, I will let you know what we're doing first. I'm just feeling the energy of the spread itself to see what flow I want to go in. If I want to do individual first or if I want to do events first. I think I want to do events first. I want to do events first because that's like speaking out um, more louder to me. And then it'll flow naturally. Then I'll start pulling for the individual level. Okay, so we see for the March predictions, it's looking like some deception is going to be exposed in relation to housing or possibly government this month. Some sort of secret is going to be revealed. This is relating to information regarding spirituality or ether, something that is unforeseen. So, a phenomenon that you can't necessarily see with the naked eye will be revealed this month. However, the people would view it as deception, or they would feel like they have been deceived, or they'll have general confusion about it. And so I do see an event of that nature taking place, an event regarding government being exposed in some sense. It will ultimately propel humanity, but nonetheless, it's still going to feel like a deception. I also see possible changes with the work atmosphere as well. So this also could be a change in the policy this month around any sort of working conditions. This could be OSHA. This could be um, any sort of is big. It's on a big level. It's on a grand scale. So this could it almost feels governmental as well, like working condition laws. I see that taking place. So like it's something with employment laws and rules. So it's something with the Department of Labors are going to be affected this month. So that you may hear some news from the U.S. Department of Labor regarding major laws around working conditions, worker protection. That could be something as simple as wage and working conditions, um, as well as like pay practices with employment, and also even OSHA of stuff of that nature. The Fair Labor Standards Act. All of these things is that regulates wages and working hours and overtime pay. There are going to be affected this month, and so don't be surprised if something comes out about that. And it's gonna feel a little bit uncomfortable, but for the most part, it looks like the public is gonna take well to it. If I have to say, it does look like it's something that the public will embrace. So it must be something favorable. And it does relate to, I have to say, hours and wage, something with wage and hours. And so that's a good thing. I'm also, we're going to get some very big epiphanies and revelations this month regarding things relating to the legal as well as travel. And so there's going to be some changes around travel as well this month. I just keep getting this big thing of secrets revealed, secrets revealed. Yeah, so there's going to be some secrets revealed this month in March about, again, things that they are hiding about government phenomena as it relates to the unseen. So this is spiritual stuff that humanity for the first time will get um to get awareness of. It doesn't mean, well, it's something that could go viral. Say something as simple as going viral on Twitter or a viral video or of that nature. But for March, it is going to be like confirmation. It's not going to be more of a speculation or oh, this is a conspiracy or anything like that. No, it's going to be something very revelatory regarding the unseen. People finding out things of that about the illusory nature of this planet, something that is confirmed without a shadow of a doubt that gets released because it has no choice but to be released. And so people will feel like a little bit like they've been deceived, but at the same time, it will allow for growth in consciousness. And it will also, this it's going to be a little bit upsetting for everyone, but it's going to allow for more freedom and authenticity. Another thing also that could be is changes in the housing as well. I see that for March. Housing authority. So I'm not sure if March is, because I don't know about like the eviction process or nothing, but I keep getting eviction coming up. So let me see if there's anything, because the eviction, I don't know how they do that at the top levels, but as far as events for March, I'm seeing a lot of evictions, unfortunately. But these moves are for the better. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of eviction for March. I wanted to see if there was like any laws around eviction because that just came up, and I just wanted to know like why is that a thing for March? And another thing that we see for now we're switching more into the individual if you haven't noticed, is it's possible a lot of relocation due to work. So you may be traveling this month or you may be relocating due to work. You're also a little more concerned with finances in terms of possessing of them. So it's like you're a little more concerned with the material right now, clinging though in a way that can turn unhealthy. Um, because of you're feeling like a sense of scarcity, and so my advice would be to see that there's nothing but abundance around us and to go into a state of being in terms of being what we wish to manifest or we wish to possess or we wish to be that in the moment. So see the future and be the future. And so that was my advice for that, because I am seeing Americans and humans in general, like feeling like there's not enough and we have to cling to what we have. And I want to, and it's coming up very clearly in this spread. So if you feel that way, just remember that also that spirit of gratitude, because um, that which we have, we would gain more of, and that what we are not grateful for, we would lose even the little that we have. And so that and you see that, and if you want to know like where am I seeing that at, I'm looking at the Four of Pentacles for that. It's in the Four of Pentacles with the moon and then the Tower, obviously. But that feeling like, oh, I had to hold on, this that energy, you want to slowly release that feeling where your financial concerns are taking precedence over your relationships and quality of life, and where your emotions are rising in a way that it's going to feel overwhelming. So you get a little confused. You feel like, okay, I don't know which road to take. I don't know which path to take. You don't want to feel that way. Okay. Another thing that you may possibly be doing early in the month is jumping to conclusions about your finances. And so advice for that would be to keep a clear head, to use your willpower and decisiveness to push forward. Okay. And so you want swift action and be bold. And anytime you do a new project or a new venture that you want to take on, anything that you do in life in general, and I'm learning this too, but you want to, I'm just literally channeling what these cards are saying. So be aware, be, um, bear with me. And you got to be bold. Whatever you do in life, do it with bold action in the beginning, so you could have full momentum, have full inertia, and full momentum in the beginning to give you that boosted morale that you need to continue. If you half-ass doing something, if you feel, oh, I don't know what to do don't do that. Do everything this month with willpower and pure decisiveness. Be bold. If it's it could be anything. It's something that's setting up a new PowerPoint presentation you got to make. Okay. Or to something more major where you starting a whole new business department of your company, or you got to hire someone, or anything that you do it with your willpower and your clarity and honesty, as well as bold action. Okay. Um, and so I would say that for if anyone feeling that way, we may see some things pop up when it comes to events and even individual stuff with science. There's going to be some revelatory revelations about epiphanies rather about science, and in a way that pushes the boundaries of what we think about the universe and nature around us. Again, this is going to come from what society perceives to be regulatory bodies of authority that they don't necessarily trust, but at the same time confirm suspicions that people have already had, things that people subconsciously suspected, but it gets confirmed by the quote unquote government or these institutions of authority. And so that's another thing that I want to circle back and say. So you may see me going interchangeably between events and individual because I'm just in a flow right now. And if you guys are wondering, like, where are you channeling from? Are you talking to some angels or some demons or whatever? I'm not talking to anyone outside of the quantum super computer slash transducer of the universe, or what the old ancient ones would call the Akashic records. And there are there's a level below the Akashic records for each planetary body. So Earth has its own records of collective unconscious. So that's where I'm pulling from. I'm not pulling from any source, and I as far as like an entity or anything, if you guys are wondering. I talked about this in one of my videos, trying to, was it the weekly predictions? I want to make sure that, so for anyone that wants a background of where I pull from, and they can learn more, so they can see, like, okay, is that something I can understand? um, Let me get it for you. Okay, so I'll share this briefly and then we'll go back. So this video right here, why do clairvoyants ask for name and date of birth for given psychic readings? That's where I get into like the quantum bits of the universe in terms of the various informational databases that one can pull from if they are connected in that sense. Okay, so that's the video that you can go to look at that. So let's get back to what we were looking at, and let's continue. And so you're gonna see some things with in the science field come out this month as well. Another thing that you may be feeling this month, or you may be experiencing this month, is applying your effort of a lot of hard work and dedication. So you could possibly, if you, this could be in relation to work, is what I'm mostly seeing, but also this could be in your relationship, in which you do the hard work required to solve any relationships, and that you are committed to making things work. So you'll be committed to making your relationship work, making your job work, putting extra effort in. And to be honest, you may do this too. If you're at work, if you're one of the ones that's a workaholic, I do want to caution you and tell you that you may forget um, about like a family and your loved ones due to you just focusing on work. That could be something that you become consumed with this month, and so you want to be mindful of that. I also see once again a lot of people getting a new start based on this change in mindset. And so again, with this, when people are growing in knowledge, and which is going to be happening with this month for a lot of humans, they're going to have a new leash on life. And so I am seeing that new ideas of making new choices and organizing yourself in practical ways is also what I see. So a lot of you may be someone that is deciding to take a course as well this month. Some sort of you may could be something as simple as Udemy, or you know, some sort of brief something. It doesn't seem like, oh wow, and some of you may be actually enrolling in um, university, but it looks more so like something on, like Udemy, or something cool to learn that is really passionate about. And a lot of people are going to be studying things in relation to the arts and philosophy. So you may be getting into that. Things with art and philosophy is another thing that I see coming up for this month. I'm also seeing a boost in the self esteem of you, and so this could be self esteem due to feeling more abundance and security with yourself, and also wanting to get more into self care. So a lot of you are going to be feeling like, okay, everything is all right in the world. I can feel emotionally satisfied. I can feel emotionally content, and I can do self care. And so what that means that you'll be putting your effort into making sure that you have a lot of laughter, that you seem satisfied, and that you do also receive notoriety for your accomplishments and the things that you have been successful in. Okay. This also is a forewarning for you to be careful of what you wish for, though. You want to be careful of what you wish for. That's another element of that, uh, of that spread as well. And so, what you'll be doing is realizing that you'll have the ability to for things to turn out the way that you desire based on this boosted self-esteem. And you want to do something to pamper yourself this month. You want to, whether that be going to the spa, going to rock climbing, whatever you like to do. If it's going to visit, the farmer's market or someone's farm to go pick some apples, it's something that you want to pamper, something that makes you feel so good, even if it's just a beautiful night alone, with a nice candlelit dinner with you or your partner, or just do something for yourself that's good. Nice facials, nice retreats, things of that nature. I'm seeing a lot of the self care and pampering that is going to be done this month, and you're going to feel that energy to do it. You'll feel that energy to do it as well. And your intuition is going to be higher by now. This month it's going to be higher than usual. So you're going to be able to tap into your higher self. And so some of you may be feeling like, okay, I want to do counseling. Um, I want to dab into again this philosophy and this art thing, esoteric teachings. I want to follow. And also another thing is you're gonna know situations in which you need to follow your gut. You're gonna know that you have all the answers right inside of you, and you're gonna be taking a retreat from social life a little bit, for more of tending to the spirit, more tending to the self care, and then you'll also be able to radiate that energy to those around you. And so you want to follow your gut and your mind when it comes to your self care and when it comes to the aspects of the money, because again, um, you may be receiving some upsetting news, unfortunately, and time frame for this probably 8 days, um, 8 to 9 days. I would say. just news that's upsetting relating to the finance. And it's temporary, is what you must understand. It's very much temporary. Anything that you may receive in the mail regarding, like, a change in the wages, the hours, changes with, like we talked about earlier, I suspect that there are going to be some changes in wages, policies around the Department of Labor, stuff with the workforce and whatever. It could be upsetting, and it may affect your particular job or position, or what you do. And so I would say that that is temporary. That feeling is temporary, and it allows for greater a greater evolution, a greater expansion. So I wouldn't sweat it too much. It doesn't look like it's anything that's just going to be disastrous, but you just must be aware of that you may feel like that's it's an upsetting crisis or a little bit of upheaval, sudden change coming to this month, and that event hits you. And what you want to do is keep that high self esteem, high moral, and sharp mind with sharp heart, trusting your gut instincts, and then you're gonna be propelled more into things that are more authentic, things that give you a sense of accomplishment, as well as make you feel like you are more in tune with your higher self. And so it's a great thing. You also may be doing some traveling, or you may have just got back from a trip as well. A lot of you may have just got back from traveling, it looks like. Okay. And um, you may be thinking about doing that again, but I see more so that a lot of you are either going on a trip this week, or you have just gotten back from some sort of traveling and trip that you did. And so that is what I'm getting from the individual. Just want to make sure that I'm covering individual before we go to feelings. How do they feel? Yeah, so for a lot of people, I do see better work prospects coming in the mix, and so you'll feel just a little bit like, you know not sluggish, but like, I want the procrastination is not the word, but just like slow to move. But this is not procrastination. This is not a negative thing. Okay. This is you not taking shortcuts. That's what it is. It is you not taking shortcuts. And that is you making sure that everything, that you leave no stone unturned, and that everything is in its proper order. Okay. And that is what's going to lead to more financial well-being, believe it or not. Making sure you don't take them shortcuts, making sure you do everything right the first time, so you don't got to go back and do your work. And so that means that things move a little bit slow in that area. Um, Again, I also see a new job offer, or even that can potentially be very much so tied to relocation for some of you. And then also, if you're in a relationship, there can be some differences in opinions about how money should be spent coming up this month as well. So now let's go into how do they feel. Let's go into how do they feel. So it looks like they feel that you do have a mysterious side. So if this is, let me give context of what is a how do they feel reading. This is for someone who, and this is in a general sense, because believe it or not, things work on patterns and cycles in terms of the mainframe hologram simulation in which we exist in. And so, obviously, if you were to get like an individual reading, it would be specifically for you based on the snapshot of your state of consciousness and that of your spouse or person of interest at that moment in time, that would be very specialized to you. And when we do a how do they feel reading in a collective sense, this is for those who um, are in a relationship, or they have a spouse, they have a person that they are connected to, and they have an inquiry at that moment in time. So say you watch this video, the feedback of it within the next week or within the month of March, and the moment that I this pull the moment that I am connected to this spread, right? The spread is in front of you, you can see it on your screen. The moment you say, well, the moment you as watching it says, I would like to see if there's a message in there for me. and I would want to know how my spouse feels, then you are automatically looped in to that quantum database that I am pulling from. So the message will automatically um, kind of reorient itself based on the, obviously this is live right now, but it will orient itself and in which you can see or from it from your intuition and from your higher self, see if it resonates with you and your spouse in the same moment. But the moment you tap in and say, okay, I want to know how do they feel for me as well from this general reading, from this weekly reading, then you'll automatically be looped in, and what I say will um, either resonate with you or not. But most of the time, believe it or not, Heka is very powerful. So just someone speaking their words, you believe it, you end up getting a you end up that's why readings can be very powerful, and in a sense, and the person given the reading has a great responsibility, because while you want to tell the person what is the truth and what's honest, just you speaking what it is could literally alter their very reality. And so it's very important that the clients themselves know that you watching this, or whoever it's very important that you are aware of that. And when you're getting your reading done from whoever, it doesn't have to be me, it could be whoever, you have to realize that when you are one of those ones that tell that say, give me the truth, I want to really know the truth, and that reader, based on they spread, depending on where they even pulling from, gives you that advice or whatever they saw, it's going to inherently remode and reshift the parallel permutation of that very reality that you're living in. And so sometimes you as the client, or you as the person that gets the reading, it you may want to uh, phrase your questions in ways in which the answer you get is one in which your subconscious mind can manifest the highest permutation of the outcome that you want. That's what you need to take from that. Okay. And so if you notice, if you say, if you get a reading from me, I have clients all throughout the week. Um, I will give you the truth and the honesty. I will ask you if it's something that I see that is not too appealing. I will ask you, do you want me to give you to you straight up, or I can reword things in a way where I can mold it to where you can shift, where it will. This is not just me, just trying to not give the person the truth. It's more so like I could say things in a certain way where it's the same meaning, but in a way where you can change the outcome. That's what I mean. Now, if it's just really gloom and say like, oh, how do they feel? Or they don't want nothing to do with you. They moved on. Da, 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 da. At the behest of angering that client, or even angering the person, it's still best to just give that answer. But if it's something like, oh, it's a fresh breakup, and oh, will we get back together? Yeah, it's a possibility you can get back together, of course, or not. I mean, what did you do? Why did you guys break it? Was it cheating involved? Was it they had a kid or something? Oh, it was a misunderstanding, something simple like that, or you know, um, those things. With the exception of those things, rather, you can most likely you most likely will get back together. You most likely will have contact. You most likely will get and so it's important for you that for those that seek a reading to know that the outcomes of future events are based on probabilities and permutations, literally millions of them. And when you go and get a reading, you are assessing a snapshot of that consciousness at that particular moment, right then and there. It will resonate for that day, for that week, for that hour, possibly. And you do have the power to change the outcome within its limits, because if it involves another person, then it's harder. But if it involves just yourself, it's much, 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 much easier. And it's much easier to change the outcome if it's just yourself. But if when it comes to, oh, is so and so going to marry me, and that's a lot harder, um, and it's a lot more action. But you could still change the outcome of any of the permutations. It just is what is at that point in time. this is what it is at this point in time, based on the actions and energy. This could be the likely outcome. This could be one of the possible outcomes. This could be the most probable outcome. But if you are smart enough, I won't say if you're smart enough, but if you um, are aware enough, then you can change the outcome and switch it around. You can, especially if you know the probable outcome and you know there's millions of permutations in one parallel dimensionality of your existence, then just change it if you don't like it, And so that's one thing that clients should know. That is one thing that when I say clients, I mean those who get readings like that. That's the one thing that you should know as you go getting your reading from anybody or from me. That you want to walk away more empowered for one, but you should be feeling empowered anyways. You're getting these readings for the guidance and the insight, of course. But I understand that most humans are more focused on the then and now. Like what is up with my job? What is up with my career? And so that's always the conflict that's always the conundrum, rather, not the conflict, but that's always the conundrum with the tarot reader and the the client, because we are aware of how these tools can be used to really evolve us in great ways spiritually, particularly the tarot spread that you use. Some are better than others, or even just natural abilities, clairvoyance. We are aware, and we would love to give people advice on how to do things on a grander level or on a grander scale. That's always ideal in terms of getting them to be in their best self, their highest, their highest good for themselves. And this is different than highest potential, because you don't want to operate from the space that someone is not living up. You want people to bring out their gifts, bring out their self-expression, believe in themselves more, trust themselves more, that type of thing. And so while we theoretically would prefer, and I'm not trying to speak for all, spiritual intuitives, but I think I can. I think I've spent some time on forums, with spiritual advisors, and I suspect that they would like. I suspect that they would like to have more, of those type of readings. But in the event that it's not, we have to respect those that come to us, regardless of what state they're in, and regardless of where they're at in life, and with no judgment. And that's one of the keys. Like, we cannot judge. I've come to people come to me with all types of stuff going on, and I just like, okay, I don't get attached to their stuff, but at the same time, I want to offer the best insight that I can for them in a way that is for their best self, based on what they tell me and based on the context they give me, or even just what I pick up and what I'm able to see. So, enough of the tangent. Let's get straight into how do they feel. And so, if you are in a relationship right now with a spouse or with someone you're connected to in terms of like a person of interest, they feel that you have a deep mystical side, like a very spiritual side that you tap into, um, and that you kind of hide things, though. Like, you don't tell all of your information, you don't tell all of your secrets. They don't necessarily see it as a bad thing, but in the past they have felt like you were hiding some things, or even that you're hiding something now, but in a way where you're protecting and guarding your heart. I also see that um, you may be having some clarity, some lack of clarity around communication. Okay, so with this person, you may be feeling like the communication's been muddled, and they feel that way. They feel like the communication is hasn't been up to par, and that also that you exuded a little bit of possessive behavior, in a sense, um, in a way that they can start to see as toxic, but at the same time, it's not. significant enough of an issue that they think about on a daily basis. It's just something in passing. I also see that they feel that you are slow to commit, like um that you are taking your time. You feel like there's no need to rush. And if you are committed already, they still feel like you are very observant of the connection of the relationship. You're very observant. You're very uh, going with the flow, and that also that you show your services and your love language through um, what you can do for someone, how do you provide for them, making them laugh as well is one of the love languages that you do, because you like to make people laugh. And so I see that, but also like another element is I show my love by doing acts of service. This may be um, both of you, but they feel that way about you, that you show your acts of love through doing services for that particular person. That could be something like giving them money, um, fixing things for them that they need, providing things for them that they need, paying a bill. And so that's what they feel. They feel that's what you're good at. They also feel like you are well traveled, well cultured. You bring about a good mindset in terms of your refinement around the world, the ideas about the world. They feel that you're expansive in that sense, and that you have generally a good vibe about you. They feel like you are someone that can commit to them, and that you are capable of working hard to invest in a relationship and to make sure that it's right. And it's something that you don't take lightly. On the more somber side, I do see that they may feel that you guys are gonna have like a sudden change or a sudden upheaval. So don't be surprised this month if your spouse does something upsetting, or if you do something upsetting. Don't be surprised, because I see that for um, coming, but it is temporary, so it's not nothing to freak out about. It just seems like it's enough to where you guys have to sit down and have a conversation about it. It's enough to where you guys have to sit down and get some understanding about what is going on. Like what, it's something that is kind of like jarring, but it will ultimately lead to um, a greater connection. This could be something regarding a secret. I don't necessarily get like cheating or anything of that nature, but I do get revelation, probably of something they didn't know about, you didn't know about your spouse, or that you didn't know that they didn't know about you. Is going to be something that they didn't know, that they find out, and they're going to want to talk about it. They're going to want to know more about it and get a better clarity, and they'll get that, and they'll be satisfied with the answer that you give them or that they give you. um they'll be you guys will be satisfied overall. And so that is the weekly reading. I want to put my link in here, so where you can contact me for a reading if you guys would like. You guys can ask me anything. I really prefer, it's not even so much prefer, I love to do the relationship readings, anything with how do they feel. um that I do love that, but anything, if it's more serious, that's also great too. But anything with like career, finance, that's great. Justice, general inquiry, self-development, self-care, anything of those, anything of that nature, I would love to be of service in that way to you. So you can call that number for a reading, or if you want a live chat, um, you can click that link as well. And if you want pre-recorded services, because you don't have time to actually be like on a live chat with me or a live phone call with me, you can book on Etsy. That would be one resource for you. Or you can book on my website as well. We can do, you can schedule on the website. That could be 15-minute reading, 30-minute, hour, pre-recorded or live if you want to book it on the website. And or you can do video call with me as well. If you some people prefer to see their face, and so that's great as well. I also want to put in the link to my books for those who are looking for like information on esoteric topics, history, self-help, scholarship, Black American culture, anything of that nature. Here is the link to all of my books, and you'll be sure to find you something. There's ebooks and whatnot. And then also here is Nakhti University. You guys can go there as well and check that out and see if there's anything on there that you would like. And so I do thank you for those who watched playback and whatnot. Thank you for stopping by. And I want to show you where you can go real quick to get the reading. This is my site, nakhti.us. And you go there and you can click here, spiritual readings with me, read through my information, my ethics, some of the ethics that I have and use from the American Tarot Association. And here's some of the options. You can do a 1 year of 30-minute weekly readings if you are familiar with me already and you already had readings with me in the past, or you can do the Tarot Membership Club. You can book a spiritual live video call, a 24 hours end of love reading, which is audio or live, 15 minutes, or you can do 30 minutes pre-recorded or live chat. You just tell me. Okay, so I do hope to hear from you. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.